Okay, these notes are over operations with functions. So there are 4 operations we're going to focus on today. Those 4 operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So there are different ways you can write an addition of functions. So f plus g of x, or you can write it as f of x plus g of x. For subtraction, you can have f minus g of x, which is the same thing as f of x minus g of x. For multiplication, there's f times g of x, which is the same thing as f of x times g of x. And then for division, we can have f over g of x, which is the same thing as f of x over g of x. So these are just different ways to write the notation. So we're given that f of x is 2x squared plus 4x minus 6, and g of x is 2x minus 2. So if we're doing f plus g of x, really all we're having to do here is we are combining like terms. So f of x is 2x squared plus 4x minus 6, plus g of x is 2x minus 2. And we're just going to combine like terms here and get that f plus g of x equals 2x squared plus 6x minus 8. So for addition, it's just combining like terms. For subtraction, you have to be a little more careful here. Order is extremely important. So f minus g of x, you write out your f of x, so 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. And we're going to be subtracting g of x from it, so I'm going to put g of x in parentheses. And the reason why I put g of x in parentheses is because I'm going to have to distribute that negative out to the 2x and to the negative 2. So now I have 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 minus 2x plus 2. And now we can combine like terms. So we get that f minus g of x equals 2x squared plus 2x, then minus 4. For multiplication, we're multiplying f of x times g of x. So you can do 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 times 2x minus 2. You can FOIL that out or really distribute that out. Or you can do the box method, which is what I'm going to use because I stay more organized. So I'm going to make a 3x2 box. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 along the top and 2x minus 2 on bottom. All right, so 2x squared times 2x is 4x cubed. 2x squared times negative 2 is negative 4x squared. 4x times 2x is 8x. 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x, and negative 6 times negative 2 is 12. And now we combine like terms. So we get that f times g of x equals 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 20x plus 12. And lastly, division. You're just going to write one over the other and then see if you can simplify. So f of x is on top. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 over g of x is on bottom, so 2x minus 2. And there are times that you can leave it completely the way it is right now. If it doesn't factor or do anything else, you can leave it the way it looks. However, I'm always going to see if I can factor first. So in the numerator, 2x squared plus 4x minus 6, I can factor out a 2. And I'm left with x squared plus 2x minus 3. Over in the denominator, I can factor out a 2, and I'm left with x minus 1. Well, I have a 2 in the top and the bottom, so I can eliminate the 2's. So now I have x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x minus 1. I need to see if I can factor any further. Well, the numerator will factor because I need factors of negative 3 that add up to 2. So it would be positive 3 and negative 1. So my numerator factors to be x plus 3, x minus 1. The denominator is x minus 1. And I've got a factor that's in common in the top and the bottom. So I can eliminate the x minus 1s, and I get x plus 3. So f over g of x equals x plus 3. So if you can factor and simplify, then do that. But if you can't, then you'll just leave it the way it is. And just for some more practice, I'm not going to write these out, but if you would like some more practice and then you want to check your answers with mine, I've got f of x is x squared minus 5x minus 6, and g of x is 5x plus 5. So when I add those together, I get x squared minus 1. When I subtract, I get x squared minus 10x minus 11. When I multiply, I get 5x cubed minus 20x squared minus 55x minus 30. And when I divide, I'll go ahead and work this one out a little bit. So the numerator factors to be x minus 6, x plus 1, over the denominator is 5 times x plus 1, so I can eliminate the x plus 1s. So when I divide, I get x minus 6 over 5. And that is it for our operations with functions for today.